Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again, and I have another, can you believe, another update for the Pecron E2000LFP. Now you guys know that I have the E1500LFP coming with the full batteries and everything. I'm so excited, but I have to wait for the shipping and the slow boat and the hurricanes and okay, so I have to wait for that. But while I'm waiting, remember I was on a mission to see if I could upgrade my E2000LFP to the new version that you guys get that I didn't get. I got the first version with the 65 watt USBs and the 110 volt AC inverters, right? So this is the newest piece that I was able to get from Pecron. I begged and begged and begged, and they sent it to me. I was like, yes. Now, a lot of people would ask, and I had people ask, why would you risk opening your system and breaking it? Well, I got a good answer. Curiosity. Guys, this industry of solar generator power thing has fascinated me the same as when you were a kid and you found your first pinball machine and you're like, how the heck does that do that? And you just want to rip it apart, even if you can't put it back together. That's a risk you take, right? And you're just like so curious, how does that ball go down there up the channel? Like, so this is the same way. I want to learn what all these little dots and things do. Is that a capacitor? Is like, what's the coil for? Is that a cooling sink? Like, I want to learn every bit and piece. So it feels to me like I took the risk and I went to college kind of thing. But I created my own college. Whether it was a smart thing or a dumb thing to do, well, that was user's choice. I don't recommend this for anybody, guys. If you don't take your system apart, unless you really know what you're doing, unless you're willing to accept the consequences of your actions, which a lot of people sometimes are not willing to do. So this is something I don't recommend anybody to do. So this is the new board, okay? And so here's your USB 100. USB, I think it's 20. I think it's listed at 18, but it actually puts out a little bit more like 20. And then your 4 grandpa ports are USB A's. These are your 2 barrels, right? And then when you flip it on this side, these are cooling vents and your capacitors. This is your connection from your main board. Now, I've seen inside the system already, so I can remember what most of these are. This is your communications kind of thing from the main system. This is from the main board that allows the power to go from the main board into this board. And then this one, they upgraded this. So the original one that I have, and I'll take mine out in a minute and show you. I'm just so excited to do this. See, the original one didn't have this XT30 on there. It has this one, but it didn't have this one. And there's a lot more of this white goopy stuff, and I think that's just for stability and, you know, kind of make sure the pieces don't, you know, get loose or wiggle or anything from vibrations. Like I said, I'm learning as I go, guys. So when I look at this board, I see a bunch of white goo. Now, a lot of the you know, electronic guys out there, the Sparkies and all that stuff, they know exactly what all this is called. But like I said, I'm literally like a kid in a candy store. I just want to figure out how this pinball machine works. So my curiosity is getting the best of me. So I want to see if I can upgrade my system to get the same without having to send it in. Guys, that was another huge thing. Holy crapzilla. Guys, to send an E2000 LFP from where I am, I'm in the middle of the United States, to send it back to the California, whatever it's called, warehouse, headquarters, whatever, would cost me $100. Forget that. That's out of the question. Guys, I'll deal with the 65 USB for $100, right? Now, it should have been 100 when it came out. I agree with that, but there's no way I'm setting this back for $100. So now, if you do the math, guys, check this out. If I were to, you remember back in a couple of videos ago, I upgraded the MPPT controllers, remember? Because for some reason they couldn't hold the higher voltage of the 2 panels that they sent me, the PB300s. It was almost like 80 volts, and I guess up to 80 volts, it was going into like a safety mode or something. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I'm not a technician and I'm not an engineer. I report the problems and the headaches that I experience, and then we learn from that. That's what the whole channel was supposed to be. So they were like, well, you know, send the system back and we'll put the new boards in there for you. And then I went to UPS and FedEx and all these places and USPS. You know, these guys, they want $100. Holy crapzilla, guys. So let's keep track of that. That would have cost me $100, right? Okay, so then the next one was, I was really hoping that I can upgrade to the 120 volts, right? That big board I showed you on the last video, or a video before. And now think of this. Look at, if I had to send it back in, another $100. They'll pay to ship it back, but you got to pay to ship it to them, right? They wouldn't give me one of those, what do they call the free shipping voucher thingies, or whatever, the sticker you plop on there, and then, it's postage paid for already. So now we're up to 200 smackers. Forget that. Now, I wanted to do this one, right? I wanted to see if I can get what I'm hoping with this one. I'm hoping that you don't, oh, well, actually, let me take a step back. 200, okay? And then if I wanted to upgrade the firmware, now the firmware would allow this board to achieve 100 watts at 20 volts at 5 amps, 100 watts, right? The correct output for this portion right here, this port, right? So that would have cost me $300 now, $300, right? Or if I wanted to have this board swapped, right? That would cost me another 100. So we're at $300 or $400, guys, I would have had to pay to ship this thing back to get my upgrades. Now, if I got the firmware upgrade, I wouldn't need the new board. But I do like I said, the original board in my system has these two. This actually, there's a hole here for a reason. This is where the cigarette port goes. It's just a little plastic port with two little pins on it, a positive, negative, very, very simplistic port. And you put the screw there and you're done. So the original board that Pecron, and I'll show you, like I said, I'll show you this later, but the original board has these little pins right here, okay, with these little wires, and they're basically soldered right to the board. So which means that this is straight in. There's no, hey, let's swap it, right? Now what they did is they put an XT30 on there. I'm pretty sure that's XT30. And now look at that, guys. Boom. And then this part is soldered to the, so if you ever had a problem, this is always a good thing. Forward thinking is always good for electronics and anything mechanical. Think ahead of time and learn from your mistakes, or learn from your ideas, and better. You always want to better yourself and your better ideas to make it easier to alter or fix the system in the future. Like, see this one right here, see? Very simple. This goes here, right? And then this one goes to the main board. Done, right? So they thought of that already, okay? That way, if they ever had to swap this board out, if it burned out, or if they were upgraded or whatever, very simple, right? It's done, right? So they put XT30s on both sides, they're done. But on this side, guys, like I said, they had it like this, which means if for some reason, if you ever had a problem, or let's say you cracked or bent or burnt out or overheated, whatever, you'd have to unsolder that from the dang board. Now, for me, that's a huge drawback, right? Now you can just, well, this side still has to get either, I'm probably going to crimp them with those little, the little speaker things, they pip it on there. They kind of plop right on there. I'll show you when I get the other board. But think of that, guys, how fast. Look at this. You unplug that like that. You take off this, well, you take off the screw, you pop this out, you take that out, you put a new one on there, done. That way, for some reason, if they maybe come with an upgrade or something, it allows you to better your system and upgrade without the headaches. Holy crapzilla. Also, what I noticed, and I'll show you on the motherboard, is this heatsink is a little skinnier, but I like it because it's taller. And I'll show you that in the other board. It's like this much shorter. So this heatsink being tall like that allows the energy from this board, the heat, to go up these fins and dissipate faster away from the electronics. That's what you want, guys. So maybe they found out that a taller heatsink, not necessarily a wider one, but a taller one, dissipates the heat better. Now, I wish I had a heat gun. All I have is one of those heat thingies where, here, let me show you. All I have, like I said, I'm a very new channel. I don't have all the tools and gadgets yet. I have one of these. It's really, really simple. So for me to test the temperature, I wish I had a thermal gun. It actually shows you thermal imaging. So it'll show you like, well, this is hotter because that's the connections. They always get hot. Capacitors would get hot. I don't know what the coily things are. I'm still learning, guys. But this is a crazy, crazy thing for me. But I feel like I'm going to college by myself with literally very few textbooks, if you will, or teachers. Like, I'm pulling it apart, and if I break it, I took the responsibility of doing that, guys. I could have sent this back to Pecron, right? They offered to do all this stuff for me. Upgrade the AC board, upgrade to version 2. They even offered, if I want to send in my system, right, and get the version 2 and even swap it. But now here's the huge drawback that I thought about, guys. Not only the $300 I would have been out, right, or $100 to send the original. Look at how long that would take to ship a package that big across the country, and then they get the new one and ship it back. I could have been out any time frame from a week to possibly a month without my solar. Guys, that's like a kid without candy. It ain't gonna happen. I'll deal with the 65 watts. But like I said, I took it upon myself to take the risk. I do not recommend you do this, but I took the risk, and in taking that risk, sometimes you got to take risks in life. Because if you take an educated risk, that's the difference. Know your and weigh your outcomes of your positive, negative. I could have bricked my entire system. I could have I could have started something on fire, right? So that's obviously not for everybody. But I took the personal risk of doing this to see if I can if I can do it, number one. And I spent a lot of money. If I broke my system, I'd have to spend another $900 right now, or $1,000, whatever it is, to buy another E2000LFP top to hook with the batteries, right? I took that risk. So, but I thought, you know what? Over the last year, I have learned so much knowledge that I feel like I went to college. And I've taken so many risks already by learning this stuff. I could have got electrocuted using solar panels, and anything past 48 volts of DC can go directly through your skin and right to your heart. It's extremely rare, but it can and will happen. It has. People died because of that. They have a heart attack because, the voltage, Remember, that's how they made the electric chair. They put voltage through you. So your voltage is not something to play around with. What is it, like a half an amp can kill you? I think it is. I mean, that's not much power at all, guys, and it's very scary. But if you really make an educated risk, that's the difference, guys. An educated risk. That means, is this wire big enough to hold the amps that have to go through it? Well, let's test the amount of copper compared to the amps, and then you can take an educated guess. Learn from other people's oopsies, if you know what I mean. That's a quick way to learn. When I learned how to cut down a tree, I didn't watch the good guys. I watched the guys who ended up in the hospital, because I don't want to be one of those guys. That's extremely dangerous and deadly. All right, guys, I'm going to pull this board out. This will be like I think a 3 or 4 part video. I'll squish them all together. I don't like breaks in between, but I have to because it takes me time to open it. Maybe I'll film taking it out. It's very simple. There's 6 screws right here. I saw inside the machine already. 6 right here, and then I have to take this screw out, which this screw releases this, which is the cigarette lighter adapter thing, and then I have to get 2 little speaker. You know the old speaker clamps that you just put on little terminals? I got to crimp those on there, and I can use my Bougerv crimper for that. Awesome, got it ready to go. And then I'll put that video, and you can see the differences of the board before I do it. And then this is a whole step thing. Like I said, don't do this, guys. I don't recommend this. This is only for educational purposes and my records, so I can remember what I did. And I'm still here, and I didn't get electrocuted. Okay. All right, guys, I'll be back, okay? Okay, guys, part 2 of this. Like I said, this is information only. Do not take apart your power station. You could really get in a hazardous way, hurt yourself, get shocked to death or whatever. Warning, okay? Get that out of the way. We do not recommend you do this, okay? This is a dumb idea, and I know that, but I accept my risks. So if I get shocked on camera, you guys will have something to watch. Okay, so if you had to do this and want to do this, I take off the bear grips. Notice I said I take them off. Okay, so I take off the bear grip here and the bear grip. So you just kind of grab them like this and pull them, they slide. They glue them on, but guys, you don't even need the glue. See this, it falls right off. So Pecron keeps sending me a ton of those corners. I must have almost 20 or 30 of them by now. Every time that they would send me a board or something like that, if I asked for it, they would like literally send me a bag of them. It's like, what the heck do I need all that for? Okay, so you have 2 screws here. One is right here, and they're Phillips, okay? And then you take this off here. Now this you don't have to open up the whole dang system. So I'm all about that, guys. Opening the system is kind of a pain in the butt. Now I know for the guys that do this 24 hours a day, remember, I'm not an electrician, I'm not a Sparky, I'm not an engineer. So I don't do this every day. This is a rarity for me, but I have this curiosity to learn. All right, and then this is a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench. Oh, hey, don't we have a scriber named Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan, is this your wrench? Okay, I'm just kidding. Hey, hi, Alan. Okay.
Hi, Alan.
All right, hi, the rest of the subscribers. Okay, so you put that in there like that, and then you just give it the what have you in a circle there, and then it pops right out. That's kind of like a safety screw. You know, like if someone wants to open that, you know, like say a kid got a hold of a screwdriver, he'd have more trouble finding one of these than, you know, to get that out, just for safety. I have a feeling that's why that's there. It's a safety thing. So I'll put that over here. I'll put that next to the Allen wrench. Alan, I got your wrench right over there, and then that way it's safe. Okay. Notice all this little this residue. It's like little things of glue. Guys, you don't need it. You can, if you want, you know, reapply the glue, but you don't need it. See, it just comes off like that. It's nasty. Okay, so now to take this off, don't just go ripping this out, okay? Like I said, I'm making this video for me as well, as this is a reminder if I ever have to open it again, I don't make the mistake of like ripping this out. There's little hooks in there that go like this, okay? They kind of go like that. So you have to, I'm sorry if you saw that, like that. So you don't want to break those. So what I do is I put my fingers in here, my fingernails in here, I lift up just a tad, like that, okay? Do you hear that pop? And then you lift it out like that. Now notice that the screw fell out. Those are hard to get out unless you have like a magnetized tip like that. Otherwise you can tap it like that and then see how both the screws, they pop right out. There you go, you got both screws. So far simple, right? Nothing exploded yet. And then as you pull this open, do you see how much access you have, guys? This is the main brains of the whole thing. This is your display screen board. This is your AC board for all your ports. And this is the DC. Now, this is what I'm going to change. So to get this board out is very, very simplistic and frustrating at the same time. So first, we're going to take off this cable. This cable, oh, it's got that glue on there. Hold on here. Let me get that. I reach in there and grab that. Sometimes you can use a plastic thing, guys. It's a little bit easier, but, you know, don't go sticking like a wrench in there. And then that's the original one. Now, notice that the positive is on the flat side, and the positive is on the flat side. That's huge. That is unbelievably huge, because the one that they send you, you want to make sure, verify, verify. Remember, measure 50 times, cut once. That flat side is still on the positive. That flat side is still on the positive. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same cable and keep this one as a backup. See, it's a little bit longer. See, it's a little bit longer. I'd rather have the extra cable, and it looks a little bit thicker as well. So it looks like they want to go either save on a little insulation, but I want the fatter one. And since the cables are 100% the same, XT30 to XT30, with the positive on the flat side, that is unbelievably huge, guys. If you hook direct current up in reverse polarity, holy cow, that's a game changer. That'll wreck anything you hook up. So I'll put this back over here since we don't need it. Now notice that over here you have, well, let's do this too, just so we can get them out of the way. So this is the power board adapter that comes from the system, right? And we're going to put this over here. Now we remember that it goes to the black one right here, okay? And then you have the six, I think it's five. The 5-pin one, you just kind of pop up like that, and that also comes from the same area, which is that connection of the power over there. So you keep those separate. You remember where they go. The biggest thing, guys, the biggest thing I've learned in life about taking anything electronic apart, or anything for that matter, oh, here's those hooks. You see them? Little hook things, is take a picture or a video of what you're taking apart. That way you can remember where these darn wires go. Because look, this XT30 looks like this one and this one and this one, right? So you can really easily break your stuff if you hook it up wrong. You don't want to do that, guys. You just don't. Okay, so now you have this one. This is also the controller. This is a 4-pin. Now what's nice about this board, it's only 4 pins. Remember, that one is 5 pins. Okay, so you also put that there. So you have 3 cords. You have to remember where they go. This one, like I said, I can put back on the board because it really doesn't matter, right? Let's see. Oops, yeah, put it backwards. Now that's why there's a flat side and a round side, guys. That's simple. Okay, so this goes here. Oh, I see what they did. I see what they did, guys. So when they put it on originally, they had this, see how it has to circle around? It has to like go that way and back. So what they did is, let's see if I'm correct on this or not. Let's see. Nope, I'm full of baloney. Okay, so they did the same thing. You have to go like that and circle back. But see how you got a little bit extra wire on the original one? I'm gonna keep that one. So I'll leave that there since that's one less thing I have to hook back up. I just have to remember that the other XT30 has to go here, and then the 4-pin goes here, and the 5-pin goes here. And then also, very, very extremely important is, you see how that's kind of trying to pull out because it's the weight on there? Always verify that these are tight and connected. If you have that fancy glue stuff, I highly recommend putting that back on these ports. What I do is I very firmly check them and make sure that they're on 100% before I close the system up. You can see my botch job down there trying to put the wires together. I didn't have exactly what they had in there, so I used my own shrink tubing, which was shrink tubing over shrink tubing, and it makes it look fat, bubbly. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take out this board. Now the easiest way to take out this board is obviously to unhook these 3 pins, and then these 2, and then these 2. But why do all that? We could just tilt it like this, right? And I'm going to take the screws right out exactly where it is. So if I reach in there like this, and obviously be careful because you're working around electronics, guys, and screwdrivers and electronics are not the best. See how that slips, guys? That's not a good idea. Like I said, don't do this, guys. I am an amateur to the day I die. It's like I'm an amateur. So there's one. So we took that one out, okay? Then we're going to take this one out. And then, of course, you always keep track of how many screws you have, right? If you take out 6, doggone it, put 6 of them back in there because don't be like me when I was young. Well, I got an extra one, I'll save it for next time. That extra one went somewhere, so don't do that, okay? And the only way to really learn something, guys, is either go to college, which I didn't have the money to go to college, so you can either rip it open and do it the old school way, the school of hard knocks, and you break stuff in the process. But what I'm hoping too is with this upgrade of this board, I want to see if the firmware. Oh, actually, there's one, two. Okay, there's actually one more than I thought. All right, let me get this way here. All right, so there's that one. And then there's this one. What was I yapping about a minute ago? I forgot. I ramble so much I forget what I'm yapping about. Sometimes I just ramble to ramble. There's 7 screws in there, guys. I thought there was only 6, but there's actually 7. So you take 7 out, you put 7 back. That's simple. Okay, and then like I said, you always want to make sure that these are, you know, tight when you put them back in there with the board. All right, so now we have, that won't come out of there. There you go. If you can't get your little, my little chubby fingers in there, you can use one of these things as long as you're extremely careful, and you can kind of, you know, pick up the screw like that and get it out of a tight spot. I don't recommend that. I recommend that, you know, they make a little plastic grabber. I recommend that around electronics. Now, this board, let's see. I believe there's one more thing we have to take off on the other side. And I believe that is, let's see, or I could be completely wrong. Let's see if I missed a screw somewhere here. Oh, there it goes. And let's see. All right. Do you see any other screws in there?
No.
I do not. Okay, is there, let's see, let's open all the ports here. So let's go. Maybe it's held on by the port. Okay. Okay, so it's lifting, but it's not letting go. It's possible that they have some, oh, see, it's wiggly everywhere now. Oh, I see.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, it's got to be that. Okay, so this thing, I bet you, oh, there's a twisty thing. I see it. Holy crapzilla. Yeah, I see it, guys. Okay, so that, oop, so that lifts. Yeah, it's always good to have a Mrs. Ramblin Bob if you're able to help you out with this stuff. Okay, so obviously it's not letting go of something, so you want to verify. Remember, this is the first time I'm ever doing this, guys, so I'm not a professional, obviously. Let me see if I can hold the board here and just lift it and just see what it's kind of, seems like it's not letting go for something. Oh, you know what? Do you think, guys, as dumb as this is, do you think it's held by the wires? Holy crapzilla. Something so simple. So these are probably basically speakers. Yep. So there's like a little speaker connection here, guys. So we're going to remember that the plus is always on the right, but there is a plus sign there. Boy, I didn't think of something so silly. I wonder if that was it. Just holding these little wires, guys.
That's what I thought.
There you go. Look at that. Holy crapzilla.
That's what I thought.
Well, why don't you say something? There, see, oh, I see. Look at that, guys. See, there's a little grabby thing in there. See that? Holy crapzilla. Okay, so notice that this board, okay, is, now let me close this back up here. Okay, we'll at least close it a little bit, just so it kind of stays here. And then Miss Ramblin Bob, if you can hold that for a second.
Sure.
If you could hold that just for a second,
Yeah.
okay. And now we have these boards. Okay, so the new things with the board, guys, is see that where they're, hopefully you can see this. You see where they soldered these straight on? See that's no good, right, guys? That's no good, right? If you ever wanted to change that or upgrade that, you have to unsolder that from the board, excuse me. And then you, on the new one, see that? They put this XT30 there, so you don't have to do that, guys. Big upgrade. Hopefully you can see all this on camera. We only have a GoPro, so it's hard to see. And then you see that fin? So instead of making it more wide, they made the new ones taller. And I think that helps disperse the heat higher and away from the electronics, right? Because you want to get the heat away from the electronics. And other than that, it looks like the same darn board. Does it not? It says, let's see, E3000, blah, blah, blah. I thought there was another number on here. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, on the back. Let's see what that bad boy says. Okay, so this says E3000 USB version 2.1. So it's an updated board. And you can see that they changed a lot of the little what have yous back there. And I am not even going to guess of what half this stuff is. But they did change a few of the pieces. But what I was hoping, guys, oh, I remember what I was talking about before. Holy cow, my brain. Okay, so what I was hoping for, guys, is in order to get my 20 volts at 5 amps, I would have to ship this all the way back to Pecron, and they would do what's known as a firmware update, right? I don't want to pay $100. I just don't. That's good. It'll stay on there, dear. I don't want to pay $100, right? So what I'm hoping, I could be wrong, but hey, this is the best way to learn, right? Well, at least for me it is. I'm going to see if I'm assuming that 001 is the controller of the board. I'm assuming that every board has a microcontroller processor or something in there, like a laptop and every other thing, you know, something to control the board, right? Hence a microcontroller or a chip. And that looks like a chip right there. It looks like a computer chip with all the little, see how it goes every just a which way? So what I'm hoping, guys, is when you update the firmware, the information shoots to the chip and updates the chip. Now, this is what I'm doing this for. And, you know, one is the education. I want the education. I want to learn everything I can about this stuff, guys. I'm fascinated with it. Two is, what if this one already has the firmware, quote, update in this board where I'll get 100 watts output? That's why I asked Pecron to send me this board. And, you know, they have tons of these laying around, so they really don't care. This board probably cost them a couple dollars. They shipped it right away, it goes through customs, I get it, and then I either break it or install it. So that's what I need to do now, is install this. And you can see how fast it was, guys, to get that out. Once you know how that, these little clips right here, they have to be like, you know, these little tabs. So you have one that goes on the side, and then one that goes on that side, and then you have one that actually holds down this little board right here, and that's a safety thing. So we didn't know that. Plus you have to take off the wires of the positive, negative of the terminal for the cigarette port. Okay, so now we have what we need. The only thing we have now is, if I could show you this here, if I could, Miss Ramblin Bob, can, oh, you know what, turn this a little bit here. Okay, so we have this. Okay, I was going to use this stubby, and I was going to get inside there, but I could get a full screwdriver in there, so it was okay. But otherwise, a little stubby would have helped. All right, that and my good buddy Alan, he's got a wrench. Okay, so let's see here. So we have that. We have the cable that we're not going to use, as you can see when we put the new one in there. Let's see here. That is like this, and you can see that we can use the same cable that was in there before, so that'll obviously reach. And I like having a little extra cable, guys. I don't like stuff too tight, because if it wiggles around in jars, then you're going to lose connection possibly. And then I wish I had some of that that gluey stuff that they have. You know that stuff where you keep this little red stuff?
Yeah, red. Yeah,
I wish I had some of that, guys. It's like quick drying cement glue kind of stuff for electronics. I don't have any, guys. Like I said, I'm not a fix-it guy. I'm gonna take it apart and see if I can fix it, guy. And then what I have to do is, obviously on the old board, I have to take these connections here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to install speaker connections, because they're literally the same size as speakers on old, the terminals on old speakers. Matter of fact, some of my new speakers inside the cones still have these connections sticking out, and you can do these old, you know, it's like a little grabbers. I always go like this. They look like that, and they pinch where you put that post in there like this, and then it kind of pinches, and then you can either solder it there or squeeze it. So either way. So that's the only thing I'm waiting for now. And then notice that on this side of the board, you have the positive on away from you, so the end of the board, right? And on this one, you have the positive on the way from the board. Oh, wait, sorry. Other side. Okay. See, that's what I mean about it could be very simple, make a mistake. So notice that the positive is still on that side of the board. So when you look at the boards together, you have the red towards the end of the board and the black towards the inside of the board, and that way you don't mess it up. And then of course on top of this thing, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to try to get a camera angle of this, but very simple. You see the little plus and minus here, the positive, the red goes here, and the negative goes here. Now you can either solder them on there, or you can do those little clippy things. I like the clippies, and then if I want to, I'll put a dot of solder on there and they'll stay. And then you really want to have covers like this. The new clamps that I'm going to put on there will have a cover similar to this, because you don't want that arcing. If that arcs, boy, you'd have a bad day. Sometimes you can even bend them apart and then have them a little bit more apart if you wanted to, but it's not necessary. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I have to pause the video again, because like I said, I have to go buy 2 speaker things. I don't think I have any, so I got to run to Harbor Freight real quick and get a couple speaker clamps. I assumed, which is a bad thing to do, I assumed they would be on there like these were, right? But you know, these companies, they're changing their technology so fast, guys, so fast, that I don't think they can keep up with themselves. You know, the new ideas, like here, look at the difference of that heat sink, right? I would take the taller one over the bigger one. If you would take the bigger one over the taller one, explain why. I like this because it would bring the heat up higher away from the board. I want to get the heat away from the electronics. I've always learned that in my trade, or not trade, my passion and hobby in life, which is sound, that getting the heat away from the board is always the best thing you can do. And then your equipment will love you much longer for that. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here. If and when I get back here with the little pluggy things there, the speaker terminal connection, I'm going to use my Bougerv clampy things. Awesome. Check out Bougerv, guys. Awesome company for their ratchety MC4 thing. And you can use their crimper on all kinds of stuff. And it's got this little thing where it kind of bends them in like this, so you're not just squishing it like old school. Remember, you used to take a pliers and just smash stuff? Bad idea. This has like a curling thing like this, so it takes the wire and literally splits it apart in 2 almost and grips it like this. So that this part is solid, right? And then this part grabs it and just smashes the GBs out of it. So you almost have 3 connections. You have this one, and then that one. Much safer connection, guys. Okay, I'm going to pause here. And I'll be right back. For me, it'll be probably an hour. For you, it'll probably be like 1 second. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got back from the freight. That's what we call Harbor Freight, the freight. We're going to the freight. All right, so basically, oh, it's dusty. My workbench is dusty today, guys. Okay, so basically what I wanted to get is some of these. These are like speaker terminals. If you guys remember those from back in the days, little speaker terminals. But of course, you know, when you go to the freight, you can't buy, you know, just a pack of these little things and, you know, give them a quarter and be done with it. You know, you got to buy the whole what have you. So I bought the whole what have you here. But it was okay this time because I've used this wire stripper thing a long time, guys, and mine's pretty worn out. I have a nicer one, but I like this one. It's very small. It fits in the toolbox really nice. And I thought, you know, what the heck? This was only $3.99. So what the heck? I got the what have you. Look at how tough that is, guys. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with that thing. It's got a squisher too, but I'll show you the difference of that that other one that I use, which is the let me see if I can get it real quick here. The Bougerv one, man. It's 100,000% better. Oh my gosh. All right, so let me see here. Oh, it's out already. All right, so you got this thingy, okay, and you grab your little crazy tools and stuff. Guys, your workbench can get overloaded sometimes, and this is one of those times, okay? This is the Bougerv. This is, man, this is, see how mine is? See, I think I had a better one, guys, but no, I got a backup one. Sometimes these get a little funny, but this, guys, this right here, Bougerv, that's to make these guys. This is a cat's meow right here, boy. You got 3 different sizes. You got 8, 10, and 12 gauge, and you just bop, 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 and then it puts these little crimpers and, like, see that weird little, almost like a taco shape there, and it squishes it around that, and it makes them do that, you know, like, where they're really good. So I'm going to use this crimper, okay? I'll set that over to the side since we're going to use that one, and I don't think we need anything else in here. But okay, so now I have a backup one of these, and like I said, this is very cheap, guys. If you guys are going to do this for a living, or start a business, or whatever you want to do with electronics, don't go to the freight. Don't go to the freight. That's just a secret from a guy that's been to the freight for many years. Don't rely on the freight. Okay, no disrespect to the freight, but I've seen some quality issues. Okay, so this bad boy here is the little bucket protector here, and look at this, guys. I need this. I need this one and this one. So what I'm going to do is, obviously, in yeah, that should fit in there fine. In this country, we use red as positive, right? And then the negative is usually black. But in this case, I'm going to use blue. As long as I know the difference, that's the key. If I sold the system to somebody, I would obviously tell them that I have the blue as negative, and that way, if they want to either update or change something, and I don't know, I have no plans on selling this anytime soon. This runs my whole workshop, except right now I'm running the workshop on my Oukitels. So I have 2 of those, and they're running all the lights and all the stuff, and the battery charges and whatnot. Okay, so let's do this here. This is the old board, okay? Now notice it doesn't have these little protectors on. So when you get something like this, you see they're the same size, same gauge, but notice that this is exposed. And what I want to try to do is I want to see if I can get this on here. Whether this works or not, I don't know. It's to be seen. So, and I want to kind of go, oh, it goes this way. Okay, maybe I had it backwards. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not good at this, guys. You know, don't follow me here. See that? So it gives a little bit of protection. I would like it if this went all the way down to the board, so you don't have arcs. You don't want arcs at all, guys. So what I can do is, being that goes in there like that and turns, what I can do is, let's see if I can mod this here, guys. So let me get some scissors here, and then you go like this. Remember, I like to mod stuff, guys. I think if you buy a product and it's completely perfect, it's no fun. You know, I want to change stuff. You know what I mean? That's your whole childhood. You want to alter stuff and change stuff. So okay, there you go. And then let's see. Let me do this one. We'll go here, and then we'll take the top off. So that's the plan to mod it. Be careful so you don't chop off your fingers. Okay. Remember, don't do this at home, guys. This is a bad idea. All right, especially if you've never done it before. I have never done this before on a power station. I've done speakers and stuff, so I've modded plenty of stuff in my life. And then there, now the top's open, right? So now when you put this bad boy in here, you have a protection seal, the silicone seal. See that? And then the wire would shoot out the top. But see how you have the protection around that? So that's something you really want to have, okay? And notice I can still put that on there like that, almost like a sleeve, after I put the wire into the what have you. So we have a negative and a positive. Now I have to do the same thing with this one, which is cut off the top, okay? Like I said, I do not recommend modding stuff, guys, but well, I like to mod stuff, guys. You know, sometimes you get excited to like change stuff, you know, like, can I make it better? Can I make it my way? So, you know, it sounds goofy, but that's how I was raised. Okay, so we have these 2 wires now. This is the new board. Now notice we have to match them up perfectly as far as the pins on this side, but see, it's already done for you, because when you have the XT30, guys, see that? They're done. They're done. So all you got to do is make sure that you plug the positive on the right side, the correct side. Don't always take the right side. The correct side, the positive side of the terminal, which is the inside pin in this situation. Sometimes I'll have reverse polarity, which the outside ring will be positive. I hate that. I always hated that. Okay, so basically you have this, see the little soldered pins already? That's what these are for, either to go through the board and solder them, or to put it on something like this, squish it in there. I'm going to take a little bit more off. You squish that in there. You give it the what have you clamp. Actually, you know what? It looks like it's pretty good. Wow. You know what? I'll take a little bit more off. We bought these darn things. We might as well use them. I'll take just a tad bit more off, guys. Not much. Just a hair here. Let's see. This is going to be a long video, guys, because it's real time here. I'm not doing that fancy edit stuff here. This is Ramblin Bob in real time here. Okay, so basically, see how I did a twist, and then see that little thing? A lot of companies, they sell them like this now. You know what I mean? So back in the days, we used to go like this, and this is a bad idea, because when you did it this way, see, you could risk squeezing this too tight, and then you break that wire, you rip it. So you see how I have to tear it a little bit? But now notice they're the same. So this is obviously a much cleaner, easier way to do it, and safer, guys. You could squeeze the GBs out of this, because that hole is preset to the gauge of the wire, the copper, or whatever. This looks like tin copper, probably. So then basically you go like this, and now notice those things are longer. So you toss those over there, okay? And now you can basically take your negative here, and now when you put that in there, see how it sticks up just a hair? I don't know if you can see that, guys. Look real close. See how he just pokes his little head out like that, like a little turtle? I like that. And the reason I like that is because I know for sure that the wire is securely in there. Then you take your I'm going to call them badass Bougervs. I like these, man. This is, ever since I bought these, it's like 30 bucks for a kit, guy. You get MC4s, a case, you get this, what have you. Love it, guys. Check out Bougerv. Okay, now this is going to be a smaller gauge here. So you just go like this, and then what do? You give it to 1, 2, 3. I'm not as strong as I used to be. Okay, you could give it, okay, so give it to 1, 2, 3, and now notice that put a crimp in there. Look at how good that was, guys. But see how it cut all the way through the plastic sometimes? So sometimes they'll put very cheap plastic on stuff. So then we'll put this one on here, guys. All right, let's make sure that gets in there. Hold on, let me, oh, you know what? Boy, that might be smaller. The red might be a smaller gauge. Holy crapzilla, guys, it is. Okay, so in this instance, the red one is a smaller gauge. So what we're going to do is, now that we know, obviously, that the red line is the positive one, right? We're going to grab another one that is, where are they? The blue one. And this is a very dumb thing to do in electronics, is to have two connections the same color. However, in this instance, guys, I went to the freight, so they have different gauges. Maybe that's what the colors meant, is different size gauges. I don't know. So I'm going to put another blue one on there, seeing that fits good. So that must be the correct gauge for that wire. You know, I didn't even think of that when I got it. Oh, silly Ramblin Bob. Okay, so I give it the what have you there, and now notice how quick that's done, right? Simple, easy, cheesy. And then what I'll do is I'll put these bad boys like this, almost like little boots, right? Little boot. We're going to put the boots on there. Put the boots to it. Okay, let's, and there you go. So now you have the little boots that'll protect it a little bit. Obviously, you should do this, you know, professionally or correctly. That would be the best way to do it. But now notice that we have the same what have yous here as we did over here. So we're done, right? Now all we got to do is put this bad boy. It looks like the wire that they used on this one seems to be a little bit stiffer than the wires that they used on this one. So they might have got a little cheaper on the wires. See how kind of flimsy they are, guys? And these ones, see, a lot more taut. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll toss this over here now because we don't need that no more. We got the new board. Now let's hope, guys, when I put this back in there, I didn't know that was a different gauge. Well, you learn something new every day. Okay, so I'll save that one in case I ever make like a stereo for a mouse. So that's pretty small. All right, so let's hope, guys, that all this headache that I went through of my learning, right, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, guys, I still think it's a bad idea. But like I said, I'm curious to the bone. I want to always learn everything I can. Now we know that this is positive because of the red. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it, guys. If this was black and this was black, bad idea, guys. Don't do that, because you can reverse these, whoops, like nothing, and you'll have a problem. Holy crapzilla. So now that we have the wires up, yeah, those are definitely cheaper wires, guys. I gotta admit that. But luckily, it doesn't bring in that much power. So we'll obviously soon see if we hook that up and, you know, that starts to melt or anything. Then we'll be the first to know. But I think it's thick enough. Seems like there was enough. I mean, you guys saw the cable. It was pretty good in there. That was at least 14 gauge. Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna let me pause the video, guys. I have to raise up the camera again, because see how low it is. I gotta raise it back up so we can see how low that is. I gotta put that way up here. All right, give me 1 second here. I'll be back in about 4 hours here. So hold on a second. For you, it'll be like 1 second. Okay. All right, Mrs. Ramblin Bob, it's been about 37 days. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, it's been about 37 seconds here. I had to raise the camera up now, so now you can see inside the system here and see either if I make a mistake or we learn something in the process here, guys. Okay, so I put this piece of tape, guys. I know this looks kind of cheesy, but I put this here for a simple thing of that's the third arm. You ever wish you had 3 hands, 3 arms? Look, wow, I got 3 hands. Okay, so if you don't have a Mrs. Ramblin Bob, you might not have that third hand. But what that does is it protects the equipment, because if that were to fall, it would yank these and possibly damage these ports or the wires or something. And if you start doing that, oh my God, nothing but headaches, guys, nothing but headaches. So we know where that one goes, okay? Now, Mrs. Ramblin Bob is going to use all her muscles to hold that. That's going to weigh probably about, what, half a pound?
It's so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so much, guys. Okay, so remember, this is the new board. This is the one that I had to do. I wish I didn't have to do this, guys. It was an extra thing. But I don't think I did so bad, right?
No.
I don't think I did so bad at all. And I like that this is on there permanently, because that's one less thing I had to, you know, put on there. The weird thing is, it didn't have the screw that went there. I don't, well, you know what, maybe that was the 7th one. I don't know. Oh yeah, oh, you know, it sure did. Okay. Boy, there. That's how quick you can get confused with this stuff. Okay, so obviously you want to put it back the right way. So bam, you got to turn it in the direction of these little eyeball things here. These are the barrels, and the barrels are obviously going to be on that side.
USB.
This is the connection. See, that goes right there. Ba-boom. And all the wires are confirmed the right direction, because the positive is by the flat side of that terminal connection, and the round side is the negative. So extremely important. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so guys, what you do is you put this back on. Now remember, it's got this weird little grabber. So what you have to do is you have to go in this way at an angle, okay, and then back over. Now notice how that was way easier to put in than to take it out. Holy crap, Zilla. I mean, we were fighting to take that out
once
because...
you know what you're doing, it helps. You know?
Well, once you do it once, yeah. See, this little guy right here, this was the culprit. It just wouldn't let go. So, okay, so I'll put this one in here, and that'll hold.
They could probably see that, and people are like, it's right there, you know.
Right. Now, guys, you don't want to tighten them too much, you know, when you first put them in, so that way you can move the board around, and that way if you have to move the board around to get into the hole, see how tiny these are, guys? So I'd recommend a plastic one, guys, if you guys have one of the plastic leaders like this, little leader. I don't know what they're called. And then you can stick that, see it right in the hole like that, see, and then you kind of let it go, and then that gives you a head start, right? And as long as Ramblin Bob doesn't move, or Mrs. Ramblin, actually either one of us, you put that right in there, and then see you twist it right in.
I'm solid.
Right?
I ain't going anywhere.
She is solid as a rock. Okay, you don't have to use that, guys. It's just, see, like that one, my fingers are too fat to fit in there, so I'm gonna use that. Make sure you do, if you pinch that good, because if you pop this and it goes flying, boy, you'll never find that again.
That's the most annoying thing ever.
It sure is.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Okay, see how it turned there? Okay. Oh, see, it turned again. Okay, so that's a tough one, guys. This is gonna be, maybe I'll leave that one out, and this will be that 7 screw I was talking about before, but bad idea, guys. Okay, so there, I got it in the hard way there. And then let's see here if I can squeeze this in there. I wish I had a skinnier screwdriver. All right, there, it's in. And now this one I'm gonna tighten a little bit, okay? And then just to hold it in there. Okay, there you go, and everything. Now what that sound was, that clicking was all the ports popping through on this side. So that way you kind of settle in it. Maybe I should have done that before I put the board in there, but you know, damage is done now. And then here's that one that I thought for the...
the long one?
No, the one for here.
Yeah.
So that was in there, okay? I totally forgot taking that out. That's why, guys, if I made a mistake, I can always go back and look and see what the heck I did and reverse steps. That's the most powerful thing you can do as far as... that's all dirty. You reverse the steps like that. Okay, so this one goes, let's see, let's put this here. I think that's the hardest thing. A lot of people use those magnetized ones. I don't like that working around electronics, guys. It's probably much better, but boy, you know, I'm afraid I'm gonna make a mistake, and then, you know, you got a headache. All right, so that's done, okay? And then you got this one here. This is gonna be a tough one too, because it's way in the back. Hopefully you can see all this. I don't think you can, guys, but maybe with me explaining.
You can kind of see it. I think it's going to be fine.
Okay. Well, that'll be definitely bigger on a big screen too. You know, these people are watching on 7 to 8 foot TVs now. You know, it's not like when I was a kid, you had to, you know, all huddle around a 12-inch black and white TV if you're lucky enough to have one. All right, so you got the last one here, okay? Now what we're gonna see is, now since they're all in there and everything's settled, the board is very taut, and now you can go ahead and just lightly, that's the key, guys, lightly tighten these down. Don't go wrench it on this stuff, guys. This is plastic circuitry board, and you will split it in a heartbeat. It's very, very fragile stuff. Fragile. Remember the Christmas story?
Fragile.
Fragile. These come from
French.
France. Yeah, they come from France. Okay, so let's see here. I got one more I can't reach here. Mrs. Ramblin Bob's falling asleep on me here. All right, so all of them are tight again now, guys. And now, remember, like I said, the positive, if I can move the camera, I got this. Tighten these down a little bit. Now we're gonna go through every connection and make sure it's snug and secure before we close this up, obviously. But now we have to do these two. Now see on that thing right there, if you go down just a tad bit, Mr. Ramblin Bob, see that positive right there, guys, and a negative? So obviously the red one is on the positive side, and the green, the black one, see, I almost said green, the black one is on the negative side. But because they're both blue, right, good thing we have the wires.
Red on right.
Well, but see, here's the problem. Okay, so the positive is not always on the right. You know, it's a good way to remember it for this situation.
Instance.
Yep. And then here, see it? See how that kind of pulls apart a little bit?
Yeah.
That's why you should get that glue stuff to put that back. But we don't have that, guys. We don't have it, and I didn't quite know where to get that yet. So we're gonna turn this, and We're going to plop that on there. Oops, my little boot fell off here. All right, let me put the boots way up here so I can get the plugs on there first. Let's do the plugs and then we'll come back and get the boots. All right, we'll put the boots to it. Okay.
Boots and plugs and boots and plugs.
Boots and plugs. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's see if it'll get on there here. All right, so there you go. So one is good, and you always want to make sure they're tight, guys. You can either solder them.
Pinch them.
Yeah, DC connections, guys. Always you want to have tight connections. Period. You want to have that at any side. Okay, that's okay. It's a little snug because remember the height of this is okay, but as long as the cable's okay in there, you're good. So you can make that turn now with these little boots. I don't think we need the boots, but you know, why not? Even if we put the boots on one of them, but we're going to try to get them on both. See, look at that. I think that's a positive, guys, is to have that little protection. And you don't want sparks. You don't want energy getting out. Now, see, that I think that looks pretty professional, right?
The only spark here is between us, right, honey?
Oh, geez, here we go. Back behind the scenes stuff. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, now we know where this goes, and we're going to put that bad boy right into here, okay? Now, remember, we know that the positive is on the left of this board. Okay, there you go. And now you have this one. You guys remember where this one went? Boop, right? Simple. Okay, so this goes underneath here. So you didn't remember, did you?
No.
See, this is how quick you can get confused with this stuff, guys. Always, if you do not have a schematics, do yourself a favor and take a picture of anything that you take apart. If you take the spark plug wires off your car and try to put them back willy-nilly, your car will not run. They have to be in a precise, I can't even say it, precise order.
I know where that one goes.
Okay, now this is the 4-pin. Where was that one? Where's the 4?
Over there.
There you go. Okay, see, Mr. Ramblin Bob's going to be a repair person one day. All right, and then that, see, it clicks down, and now we have one more, right? That's the 5-pin. That's the big boy. Is it 6? Oh, I see. It's 5 pins with 6 holes. Do you remember where that goes? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
There you go. Well, how come you didn't say that? You were thinking about it. Okay.
I was testing you.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, she was testing me, guys. Okay, so now look at that. You're done. Everything is hooked up properly. And now what I do is I like to go through and I like to snug each and every single connection. I don't care if it's an important connection or not. Spoiler, every connection is an important connection. So I make sure that every single connection is properly put in there. And now because, okay, I got it down, dear. Okay, so these wires are obviously all big and kind of, there's no other way to say it, they're blobby, right? They're big and blobby. Okay, so bulky. Yeah, there you go, bulky. Big and blobby. Okay, so now when you put this back in here, guys, remember they have these weird little clips. Okay, so I hold it like this. Hopefully you can see this good. Okay, you see that okay?
Yeah.
And then I lift it up and you just kind of feel for it. You see that? See how it kind of popped in there? Done. That's how easy, and then you can close these ports. So that's how quick I was able to do that. And like I said, I have no formal training. I'm just basically I'm an idiot with a couple tools. That's basically the best way to explain it. Would you agree, Miss Ramblin Bob?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, I thought she was going to agree to that. All right, I was going to say who asked you, but yeah, I did. All right, so you put this one back, and you give the what have you a little bit here.
The guy with the tools asked me.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Yeah. All right, so you gotta figure out what a hole is here. That's always the tough part. All right. Oh, I see it. Okay, it was off. Let's put these in first, and that'll straighten it out easier. So you put this bad boy in there. Okay, you do a little what have you there, and then you can kind of snug it up because there's only 2 guys. I don't think you have a problem. Usually you just don't want to snug them up total. And remember, I snugged up all the ones on the board here. Now, what I'm really hoping for. Oh, see, it didn't go in. Okay. Let's see here. Can you hold that there?
Yeah.
All right, so sometimes you got to wiggle it to get it in there. Okay, here we go. And there we go. Okay, so it had to kind of pop in there. So now see how it's kind of squeezed? Okay, so that's just a little taut. You don't have to get, crazy. This is, remember, it's plastic, guys. Probably ABS plastic. So it's tough, but not. You know what I mean? So now that, look at that hole. See that, guys? See how that hole lined up perfect again? All right, so you put that bad boy right in there, and look at it, almost drops in right away because now it's lined up. It's much easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist it, and look at that, it falls right into place. That's your safety screw. Alan, thank you for letting me use your wrench. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we got jokes for days here. Okay, so we got the Bougerv, guys. These are awesome. Check these out. We have links to Bougerv. We have links to, man, like almost 50 companies now, guys. We are growing like a weed over here. It's crazy. I want to connect with everybody I can because, like I said, this has become a hobby that has captivated my my attention. Like, I'll lay in bed and go, hey, babe, you think what we should get is 48-volt batteries or 12-volt or 24-volt? And she'll go to bed, Ramblin Bob. And I go, okay. So there you go. So the system is all back together. Now what we're going to do before we hook it up, guys, because you try before you hook it up, is we're going to give it what I like to term the what have you, the one time. So we're going to turn this on. Let me see if I can get this to face the other way here, guys. Okay. We're going to face this way. All right. We don't have professional camera recording stuff, so I apologize. All right. And then we're going to turn on the DC first, because remember, that's what we turned on, right? DC, look, whoa, look at that, look at that. That means that the board is active because we actually have power coming out. Very cool, very, very cool. And then AC, and what this does is verify that everything is in the right spot. That's step one. Make sure, look at that, it's very, very low. So the reason it did that, guys, is because anytime that you disconnect this internally from the batteries and anything like that, always it loses its memory. Remember that when you disconnect the wires, this power meter on this system, the E2000LFP, is supposed to be fixed. So I can't wait to try that one. But this one, as you saw, went down to 1%. Now this was probably 30-some%. So it'll go all the way to 100. But it'll stop at like 70 or 80 or so, or something like that, and then it'll slowly bump up and finish, and it'll kind of taper off. It's not really charging, it's just correcting itself. That was the one drawback with this system that I can remember. But look at that, the AC work, guys. Holy crapzilla. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for a second, and then we're going to go. Is my GoPro dying? Okay. What we're going to do is, you want to just try it here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I thought we were going to take it over there, but you know what? We'll try it right here. Miss Ramblin Bob wants to keep going here, and I'm a big fan of no cuts in the video, so people can see in real time. There's no shenanigans going on, and we're going to see. Let me make this smaller here. I want to, because I want you guys to be able to see the outputs too. I don't want you to just see the cables. You know, I want you to see the actual power outputs. If they can see that, let me see. Let me turn this on here. And like I said, the battery's not at 1%, guys, so don't let that fool you. Okay, so here we can see it pretty good.
You know that because it's flashing, right? That means it's doing something.
Well, no, it means it's going according to the meter, it's going to die, but it's not. So let me explain this way, guys. So if you take, let's see, we're going to take one of these, and we're going to take one of these.
He's taking things.
All right, we're going to have Miss Ramblin Bob go over there, and she's going to plug in the AC so we can get some power, just so the meter kind of shuts up. Because like I said, this is the one issue that this system had that was a problem because of that stupid power meter. And I think that's a learning curve of the company. Yes, they should have had that worked out before they sold the system. I agree 100%. I don't disagree with that. However, mistakes do happen, and that way you can learn as you go. Okay, so that doesn't fit there. Okay, you want to just hold that?
Yeah.
Okay, not going to shock you. It's just a DC port that probably is linked to another world. Okay, so we're going to go this way, and then we're going to go either one, left or right, doesn't really matter. Plus it doesn't care. And now notice that that's going to be charging in a second as soon as it clicks on here. See, now you got power coming. I'll turn off the DC, and we'll let the system kind of do what it does for a few seconds first. Okay, Miss Ramblin Bob, you got that? I wish I had a longer cable here. Guys, I have a very small work area here, guys, so I apologize. I'm going to put this down again so I can get a better view of this here, guys. Remember, this is on just a cheapy tripod we got here, and hopefully over time when this channel grows, we're gonna better all the equipment and get some high quality stuff. You know, maybe we could hire a camera guy. That'd be cool to have a camera guy follow you around it. All right, I'll tell you make a mistake, because then you'll highlight that. So now we have all these extra bases, guys. The extra board that you don't need, I'll put those over here. Okay, now let's hope, guys. Let's hope. Okay, we're charging at 537 watts. Obviously, the battery pack is much higher than 1%. Excuse me, much higher than 1%. It's just having a weird resetting moment, right? And when you press a screen, that it gets weird. See that? So that's just a pressure thing on a LCD screen. Remember, you used to play with the calculator, move your finger back and forth. Okay, don't do that. It's bad. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is I'll hold this, and if you want to grab the Mylon, okay, and then that black USB-C to USB-C cord. Mrs. Ramblin Bob is running over there getting some cords for us here. Let me turn that on here. Maybe this is tall enough to sit on the floor here, guys. Remember, this is real time, guys. This is no jokes here. We're doing this in real time. I mean, if we make a mistake, you're going to see it live. We're on camera. All right, so we're gonna put the Mylan. This is how I test stuff, guys. I use my Mylan. Now that screen you couldn't see. Holy crapzilla, look at how bad that screen's getting. Holy crapzilla. It's 96%. Okay, so we'll see the output here, and this is not gonna do anything. Holy crap. See how it's at 2% already, guys? So it's obviously gonna go up very, very quickly here. All right, so we're gonna try the board, okay? And we're gonna see. Now let's hope, remember, like I said, I didn't want to ship this box all the way back in to get the firmware upgrade. I think for a lousy 35 watts more, yes, it should have been there when I bought it. But for a lousy 35 watts, do you think that would have been worth $100?
No.
And then we would have lost this for how many, a week or 2 or 3? I mean, holy crapzilla. In that strange turn of events, guys, I'm learning how to take these apart, fix them, and repair them. That I never thought I could do. So it's a plus and a minus, right? So I'll use it as a college, okay? I learned that way. So if we have 539, what we're gonna do is let it charge for a few seconds. Or actually, you know what? Let me pause the video, guys, and let me charge it a little bit. Let me get this up normal, so then we can turn it off, and then we can see. Well, you know what? Let's the heck with it. I don't like the pauses. I don't want to do pauses. Okay, we're gonna. Who's that? That Bill O'Reilly guy? Said we're gonna. Yeah. F it. We're gonna do it live. Okay. The Bill O'Reilly guy got mad that day, and he said, "F it. Let's do it live." All right. he was angry. I saw that YouTube video. Okay. So that fellow was not having a good day. All right. So. So here's the system that you can barely see. I think I give the system, at least that screen, what do you think, another week or 2 before it's dead? Look at how, you cannot, guys, look at that. You cannot see that screen. Can you even see the, oh my gosh, you can, I can barely see it, and I'm not on camera here, guys. I mean, that is the dinkiest, terrible screen ever on a power station that I've ever bought. But it was our first one, right? You can't get rid of your first one, guys. That's like a rule and a law. So even if it dies, we're gonna keep it as a, what do they call that? Trophy? Or hang it on the wall? Sure. Yeah, let's hang it on the wall. Okay.
It's a big trophy.
All right, so we're gonna leave it at 2% because who cares? Now we obviously know, like I said, there's much more than what it says in there, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, you hold that. Don't electrocute yourself.
Okay.
All right. Now remember, it turned off because I didn't have the DC on, guys. So you have to turn the DC on to activate the system. All right. So the point of no return, guys. Fingers are crossed. What do you think the odds? Let's bet on it. What do you think the odds that the firmware hopefully was in that processing board, and it just goes through the main thing and you upgrade? Maybe that's how they do it. I don't know. I'm learning. And maybe this will put out 100 watts now. What do you think? What do you think?
Hopefully.
50-50?
Yeah.
All right, 50-50. I'm gonna be optimistic, guys. I think it's gonna be 75-25.
I knew you were gonna say
What do you
that.
think? Well, I'm an optimistic guy.
knew it.
You know, I mean, look, I didn't electrocute myself, right? That's this is a very positive day, guys. This could have went in a bad way. Okay, or I could have broke the boards. Or I mean, don't do this, guys. Seriously, it's not a joke. All right, so this is all. I don't know. That's the normal thing guys do. I don't know. Guys, why do we do this? I have no idea why we do this. We've done this since we were kids. It's creepy. Okay. Hobotech did that. Remember that? He did that? It's the first time we saw that. He had the gloves on. He poked it. Anyway, okay, that's a whole other story. All right, so I'm going to put this in the input. Now, this is a power delivery port, if you guys remember. Input, output. Power delivery port, which means you can charge in that way, and that could suck up to 100 watts, and that way you can see what's actually coming out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to quickly go like this. I'm going to go like this, guys. All right, we're at 4. Let's see. What if that's all we got? Okay, 9. Okay, 22. Come on, guys. Come on here. I'll do them all. Look at this. 52, 68, 82, 9. Woohoo! Guys, we just upgraded the firmware / board in my old Pecron E2000, and remember, we're getting 98 now. You know, remember, we're not getting 100 because it costed 2 of these, right, to run the inverter. So that's okay. So we're getting actually about 96 out. Okay.
We're getting the real victory here.
What's a victory? That's a victory.
The real victory here is it works.
Oh, guys, okay, I got to give her credit for that too. This could have been a ball of fire. Who knows? So, once again, guys, don't be dumb like I. Don't rip this stuff apart, guys, unless you really take responsibility for your actions, guys. Okay, what do you want to do? Look, guys, we get 100-watt output. Woohoo! Are you kidding me? The top. What do you mean top?
It's got wireless charging, doesn't it?
Oh, this has wireless charging, guys. Okay,
that?
Well, that always works, but yeah, we'll check it because that's the wire that goes. I think I don't know if that's it's one of those in there. But guys, look at this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I have a I'm excited. I'm sorry. I have a E2000LFP. You guys have followed this channel for probably a year now, right? The first was almost a January. It's almost a year, guys. Thank you for subscribing. So look at that. I was able to, like I said, I don't recommend this for anybody, but I was able to save $200 or $300. Yes, this all should have been done with Pecron. Sold it, and I scolded him for that, so don't put me on that side of the table. I was able to change the AC inverters from by myself, right? Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable, because you're nervous as heck when you mess around with any kind of electricity, especially direct current. That's very dangerous. But I'm getting out a 100-watt USB, which we were supposed to get when we first bought this thing, right? Everyone that buys it now, they get all this, right? Look at the steps I went through. But the education, guys, that I and Mrs. Ramblin Bob learned, and we were able to start a channel because of this box. I'm very thankful of this box, that it had the mistakes, because then I can start a channel, learn some new trades, get an education basically for a year. I did this. And holy crapzilla, guys, I get 120, watch this. Let me turn on the AC here, okay? Now notice it still says 2, but like I said, it's like 38, 48, something like that. So if you go like this, look at that, 120 volt output. You see that? 120 freaking volt output, 119, close enough. And then you have 100-watt USB-C. Guys, that's what it was supposed to be. Am I right? So I don't think there's anything left to upgrade, really, right? I think I did everything except the battery pack. I'd love to put, like, I don't know, about 9,000 megawatts inside here, but I don't think it'll fit. Anyway, maybe I could duct tape some AA batteries to the top. Maybe I can do it that way. But Frankenstein Pecron DJ Ramblin Bob thing. All right, so we have this is the original version of the E2000LFP with the 120 volt boards installed in there, and because of my idea to save $100, I told them, ship me this darn board and I'll do it myself. And hopefully that the firmware is inside. I believe, I'm guessing, guys. I think these are, I don't know what they're called, controller chips, or these are central processing unit kind of things. I think it's that one. See, that's connected to the most crap, so it's got to be that one. But I'm 100% guessing. I have no idea. Boy, there's chips. I got so much to learn, guys. So much to learn. But look at that. I got 100-watt output. I really wanted that, guys, and I did not. I repeat, I did not want to have to send this in for them to stick a USB or something in there and upgrade the darn firmware and then ship it back and cost me $100. Now I officially have, and it's steady, guys. This would have started on fire if it was bad. And this I never used, but I guarantee that's right, because it's 2 wires. But this is a much more sophisticated circuitry and boards than this. This is a very simplistic, old school. That's why they had it, what? How old are cigarettes? Cigarettes are very old, right? Old. Like cigarette lighters are just holy cow. But I didn't need the new wire that they gave me because it looked a little bit more flimsy and it was a little shorter. So I didn't want that tight, taut electronics like that. I'd rather have a little bit more leeway. So I used the old wire. That worked good. I updated the what have yous here, the little speaker clips. I might go in there again, guys, and just if you push this little tab right here with a squeezer, it kind of pinches them on there. If you look at the a lot of connectors, there's a hole in there. Okay, they're like a little dent, and what you do is you push that little pin in there and it sticks inside there. See that little bump? I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's a little bump in there and you can shove that in the hole. So I'll do that. Basically, this step was just to see if Ramblin Bob can figure this out and do this for himself. I think that's awesome. I know this is a very long video, guys. I love to make these videos. I hope you guys enjoy them. Like I said, this technology is it's captivating, guys. Let me do the charge here real quick. Remember, it's coming out 100 watts, guys. Hope you can see that. Here, I'll double check here. 100 watts. Okay, and I'm going to plug in the AC charger here again, and just to see, make sure everything is. Babe, I got my 100 watts. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
Now you're gonna say 100 times.
What? Okay, so awesome. Okay, so basically, remember this comes in at about 550.
That was not 100.
Give or take, guys. About 550 is usually the most that I've seen it come in. And actually, I take that back, because at the most I've seen for 2 of them was it 1060? So half of that would be 530. Okay, so if you take 530 and add another 100 watts on that. Look at that, guys. You're really close. This can go up to 550 when you have one, and for some reason, when you put two of them, it drops down to 530 a piece. And I don't know why. That's just what happens with the system. But look at that. You add another 100 watts, guys, which is coming and going into this old bad boy over here, and it's working. Look, I can turn on all the units and everything. It's charging. Holy crapzilla! Holy crapzilla, guys! I don't know. I'm gonna call this a super success. Watch when I do this. You'll see that jump up instantly, and there's the other 100 watts that I was losing, as you can see. And so when I plug this in again, you'll see that drop down to about 440ish or something like that. It ramps up slowly. That's how the it has to talk, you know, first, and then as you can see, it's dropping like a rock because this energy is going through out my brand new 100-watt USB port.
Yay!
Holy crapzilla! I can't believe I did it. Okay, I would pat myself on the shoulder, guy, but you guys can't see it. So I'm gonna pat myself because I think I did good, guys. I didn't get electrocuted, and now we're gonna do this again, and that'll go back up to 550. So we actually did it, guys. It did it. This channel is absolute proof that, guys, just because, you know, life gives you a lemon sometimes, or a company sells you something that's not 100%. This was not 100%. I'll be the first one to tell you that, guys. But now I think Pecron has made leaps and bounds improvements, along with Bluetti too. Their customer service back in the days, no offense, it was terrible. Oh my God, it was terrible. And I almost bought the AC300 and all the batteries, but because of the service I got from Bluetti, I immediately started looking at Pecron. I mean, it was like that. So, and the system was about the same size too, as far as the battery bank. But you know, they lost a sale because of customer service, and I think that's something that these companies, they have to remember. We are the consumers, right? We have say to whether this company stays in business or not, as far as the quality. Anybody can make a product, and you know what? You're going to make mistakes on a product. It's going to happen. You know, yes, you're supposed to test and review it before it goes out. I 100% agree with that. But the world is different now, guys. All these companies, like every one that I can possibly think of, will rush stuff out. How many times have you guys bought a video game and you got to do like 15 updates for a PC just to get the darn game to work? Hello, glitches, what are you doing? That's because these companies are such in a battle to earn that money, to get that money, that they're not completing the task that was in front of them originally before they sell the product. Guys, companies, if you're listening, do yourself a favor. Think before you release your products. I think Pecron is going in the right direction, guys. As you guys know, I do not work for Pecron. I don't represent Pecron in any way other than I'm an affiliate. If you click on a link, we do get a small commission of a box you buy. Other than that, we have no connection to this company whatsoever. This is a company where I bought a $4,500 power station. I was literally, and I'm going to use my quotes, silly enough to open this bad boy up to try to save a couple $100 from a bad situation. But all these companies, they're going to learn very quick. I've seen in the last probably 6 months, I saw 3 companies, guys. 3, actually, was it 3 or 4? 3, I think it's 3. 3 companies now that we're no longer affiliated with because their products were so bad and their customer service was so bad that they literally got pulled. And we were affiliates for those companies for maybe a month. I mean, we just joined up with them thinking, well, let's test their products. I'd be happy to. Send me a free product. I'll test it for free and tell everyone what my honest opinion is and see if it's, you know, a brick or a rock, or if it's something that we can really, you know, utilize in this community. So, wow, that's a lot of rambling for today, guys. But as you can tell by the passion in my voice, I have found a hobby. Hopefully Mrs. Ramblin Bob is getting addicted to this too.
Woo!
A little bit, okay, well, a little bit. All right, come on, you come up here and you say something positive about what we did with this old system, which is now the new system. Oh, we didn't try this.
No.
Yeah, you wanted to try that. Okay, guys, it's going to be longer, sorry. All right, so she wanted to do this thing up here. So now we know that 540 is coming in. So all we have to do is minus whatever she uses from 540, and then we'll know how much power is going. Usually this is about a 15 watt, what is it called? A wireless charger? Mm-hmm. I don't have a wireless charging thing, so I never use it, but Miss Ramblin Bob does because she's fancy. Okay, so put your fancy phone up there, and then let's see if it works here.
Yep.
Oh, it's on? Oh, yep.
Yeah.
See, okay, so it went on. And then now look, it's starting to drop here. So we're using, for 5 watts, okay. This is really a bad way to charge. This is more like for, I don't want to say it, but like lazy folks.
Or emergencies.
Oh, see, it dropped down more. Yeah, or emergencies. Because the problem with wireless charging, guys, is it's only about 50% efficient, which means if I had $10 and if it was 50% efficient as far as the currency, it's only worth $5, right? So this comes out at 15 watts, and what was it, 540? So that's actually 13 watts. Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Well, guys, wait a minute. Hold on. I just had a thought. Didn't mean to cut you off. I had a thought. My brain worked quick. It doesn't mean it works good. It just works quick. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of thoughts up there.
You have internet brain?
I got internet brain, you know?
Oh, God.
I hit refresh all the time, okay? So, check this out, guys. Do you think, because I updated this board, do you think that... We're having fun, guys. Sorry. We love this channel, guys. Sorry. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. All right. Do you think... This is how I say, do you think? What's the matter? Why are you laughing so hard? Do you think... What, you think that's funny? All right. Do you think... Okay. Boy, okay. So someone needs sleep. Okay. You can tell we've been up many hours playing with this stuff, guys. This is our hobby. Do you think it's possible, this is just a theory, that this board being new... Okay, we'll do this again, okay?
Yeah.
This board being new is giving out a better conversion ratio to this thing.
That's why I wanted to check.
Oh, snapple crapple. Okay. Look at that. Okay, so 540, that would be 13 watts. Mm-hmm. Okay, so well, let's test it in real time, guys. Let's test this. I'm going to unplug this bad boy right here. This is from the wall. Okay, we're going to plug this in just for safety. Always keep your holes plugged for safety here. And then now notice that this system uses about 2 or 3 watts on standby. Let's turn off the AC because we don't need that. Otherwise, it's just more numbers. Hold on here. Oop, I got to push it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so turn that off. You got to push them flat. You can't hit them on an angle, otherwise they don't work. Okay, so we're using out 3 watts, and I think that's because this is still technically on, or on-ish, and then this board is still on, or there's energy still being used up in here somehow because we use that. So obviously it has to turn something on in there to use that. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the DC and do a complete shutdown, which only takes seconds on this model. Awesome box. I just wanted a big battery in a box, and we got it with a couple extra batteries stuck to it. All right, so we're going to turn the DC back on, guys. I really hope you guys are enjoying this because we really love this. All right, so now notice it went down to 2 watts again. That's what it was before. So, oh, back up to 3. Okay, so I spoke too soon. So I thought maybe that this went on standby again. So usually it's about 2 to 3 watts. I think it was 3 on the old board, now that I remember it.
I don't know.
Okay, well, she doesn't remember, but I kind of do, because, guys, I stare at these things. This is my new hobby for life. All right, so I'm going to let Mrs. Rambling Bob put this thing up there, because I don't know how to do it. I don't have one of those fancy things. You got to go like this, okay? All right, here we go.
Got it.
Oh, got to click the button so it stays on. Look at that, look at that, it's going. Okay, so remember, we're going to minus 3 watts off of here, guys, because we had started at 3.
5. All
right, so we're at 5, and now we're at... Look at that, 16 minus 3, we're at 13. Look at that. Oh. Guys, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe no.
Guys, that's coming out at 15 watts. Am I right?
Yeah.
Holy crap. So, guys, I might have updated this without even knowing that I needed that. And I really don't need that, but Miss Rambling Bob can use that.
We need it.
Holy cow. Holy cow. Do you think that was a good thing? That was that's how I'm going to always say, do you think now? Just because it makes you laugh. Okay, so 18 watts minus the 3 means that there's 15 watts coming out of this thing wirelessly. That's amazing. Maybe it's actually putting out higher than 15 now. Who knows? Maybe they updated their game. If you guys have this system but the new version, you know, the version 2, please let me know. I'm going to plug this back in. No, I'll leave it out. Please let me know how many watts that your wireless charging is getting out, because normally that's only about 50% efficient. Can you imagine if that put up the efficiency rate of this thing? Or maybe bumped up the input watts, so that way, maybe it's like 20 watts now, so it drops down to 50. Who knows, right? Yeah. Well, I got so many answers, guys. I think there's going to be 1 billion videos with this system. And then as soon as I get both of them, the E2000LFP and the E1500LFP, I can test them side by side, guys. I'm so stoked to get that system. Oh my gosh, now we have to pay off the credit card.
1 billion videos.
1 billion videos. That's what we're going to do. All right, guys. Well, I had a heck of a time. I'm nervous as a dog, obviously. I'm shaking because, like I said, I'm not a professional at this, guys. I'm just a guy with a couple tools. Alan loaned us his wrenches so we could open this. And do you have anything more to add here?
Woo!
Woo! There you go. Wow.
What up? It went up one.
Yeah, look, guys, look, we're gaining energy out of nothing. What the heck? Okay, so guys, let me know. Put it in the comment section. We need your comments. We need your subscriberness. We need your like buttons. Donkey Kong, smash that thing, the hammer, and let us know how many watts you're getting out of your wireless charger.
Isn't Mario?
Look at that's up to 20 now.
Doesn't Mario get a big hammer? Boing, boing?
Well, Mario does, but the game is called. Oh wait, I touched it and.
You moved it.
Okay, can you put it back, guys? I don't know how to use this technology. So.
Oh,
I'm an old guy learning new tricks. Here we go. All right, so it's charging again here.
Sensitive.
All right, 8. All right, let's keep this so it stays on. Well, there's your voltage. See, obviously 26.4 is way more than 2%. Like a 14. Okay, so there it goes. It ramps up. Guys, so let me know, please, in the comment section. Please, please, please. I need your info on this because, like I said, I'm learning too. Let me know what your DC, don't have any load going in or any AC or any other things. Just use the wireless charging with a phone and let us know what you're getting as output. And if you guys have the first version of this, like I did, well, I'd have to put a slash in there, right?
Dude.
Yeah, like a dude. Because I have the first one technically, but because I updated all the boards in there almost. 1, 2, 3. I updated 3 boards in there.
Dude.
3, right?
Huh?
Yeah, the MPPT controller. 1, 2, 3. I updated 4 boards in there, guys. That's crazy. Too many boards.
Too many.
Don't do this at home.
No.
Let me know what you're getting on the first version, because I no longer have the first version technically. I have the shell of a first version. But let me know when you're getting on the first version compared to the second version, if you have either or. I'd love to hear your comments, guys. Holy cow. Anything to sign off here? Anything?
Woo!
She one track mind, guys. Her vocabulary is very thick. It's very heavy.
Thick.
All right, guys, ramble on, be safe. We hope and just that thankful for this channel and all the information that we're learning from a subscriber family. Together, we are learning this as a team. Ramble on, be safe, and we'll see you again on Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye, guys. Woo! 100 watt output. Yeah, buddy.